You don't even start with that. Don't you do it. Don't you do it. You're so rude. What is happening, everybody? It's Sunday Live Hall. It's the Super Bowl today, where people bowl really super.
I don't think that's
gonna go bowling real hard. Is that what they do?
I'm pretty sure it's not what they mean.
Whatever, man. Anyway, guys, yeah, it's Sunday Live Hall. It is the Super Bowl today, which does not start until 3:30, I believe.
I don't know.
Our time. I don't know wherever you guys are, but
some kind of sportsing.
And Vikki was kind enough to not source anything this week, so we're only going to look at some of the stuff that I picked up this week. So we should be able to keep this show down.
So we will get you out in time to watch your sports ball, where they can make all the baskets and score all the points.
I mean, what I like about that joke the most is that I've heard it 20 times today on Facebook.
You're welcome. I'm nothing if not original. The only thing I will have to say is I am from New England, and I kind of sort of want to see Tom Brady get his 7th Super Bowl ring because he really is that good. And then all the Patriots haters can suck it because, you know, he really did.
Aren't the Patriots haters just going to be like, suck it, Patriots, because you lost your guy?
No, well, they are kind of like that, but they've actually hated him in general. So the reality is he isn't a fantastic player, and he's proven that it doesn't matter who his coach is, and it doesn't matter who his team is. He is just that good.
Yeah.
So,
Tommy, we should be done before the Super Bowl because, like I said, Vikki doesn't have anything to show, so we just have a little stack of T-shirts and whatnot for me, and it depends on how much Vikki pretends like they're super cool. And how much I complain about that and how much I drone on and on about it.
Yeah, see, as Kelly says, there's a whole lot of new Chiefs fans right now because a lot of people just hate the Patriots and because of Tom Brady. And, and the fact that the Patriots and Boston in general has a dynasty as far as sports teams. So, I mean, I get it. There's haters. It's all right. There's everybody that does well has haters.
Yeah. Whatever. You know, I've had my times when I've enjoyed following some teams with football. For the most part, though, I'm not a football person. I played rugby in college. I played for Oregon State University on the women's team. And I think that game is a lot more fun than football, but watching the Super Bowl can be fun sometimes.
Mother Deals has boycotted football all year because Tom Brady is gone. So, I mean,
yeah,
it's true.
I don't know.
No Tom, no Gronk, no Patriots.
Again, you're like throwing out a lot of football stuff for somebody who pretends they don't know anything.
I watch the playoff games, and I generally watch the Super Bowl when they're in the Super Bowl. I don't follow stats and stuff, but
yeah,
that's it.
Anyway, guys, like I said, it's Sunday Live Hall. This is our show we do every Sunday. We break it up into 3 parts. The first part, we look at our gross numbers for the week, and we break it down, our fees, our cost of goods, which is the most important part because that gives you a pretty good idea of how we're doing. Of course, you never know completely because we could have spent all of our money that we've ever had on inventory that doesn't sell at all. So again, you're really only getting a partial picture anyway, but we do try to be as transparent as possible and show you our numbers.
We do. We give you the good and the not so good.
The second part, middle part of our show, we look at some of the sales highlights for the week, some of the cool things that we've sold. But again, as always, you can look at our eBay stores, our Etsy stores down below, and you can see all the regular, more boring stuff that we've also sold over the last week.
Fully transparent.
Yeah. And
we try to be.
The last part of our show is our actual haul part. Like I said, Vikki didn't get anything this week. I wasn't going to source it all this week. And then Jesse, over yesterday's Fits, he knows how to reel me in. And
he knows how to entice you.
He sent me a message earlier in the week that they were having a humongous sale Friday and yesterday, $5 tees. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not going to come in. And then I could have gone in early, like a couple days before, and like really gotten all of the good stuff, but I was dumb.
You were not that smart.
And then Friday morning I was like, I really want to go, and so I went ahead and went anyway, and I still got like 60 t-shirts for $5 each, and all kinds of good stuff, and it was pretty cool. Anyway, so I'll show you guys some of the cool stuff that I picked up, and that's about it. It's gonna be pretty much what our show today is gonna be.
That's it.
Yeah. I do want to give a shout out. I don't know if she watches our show live, but I want to give a shout out to Jenny, who is one of our boss group members, I'm assuming. Yep. I know she watches our show. She might not watch live. But I wanted to give her a shout out because she messaged Vikki earlier about some reverse weave sweatshirts. Yeah, I talk about those a lot. I've shown them a few times, talking about vintage reverse weave champion sweatshirts. And she pulled 3 out from her own closet that she had back in the 80s because she saw us talking about it on her show. And she sold all 3 of them for around $120 each. 2 of them went to Japan. And I don't know what was on these sweatshirts, but I think that's super awesome. So I just want to give a shout out to Jenny. Mm-hmm. Good job. I'm glad to hear those.
$360 out of 3 sweatshirts that she's been hauling around through several moves since the 80s, she said. So
very cool.
Look in your closets, peeps. Let's face it, guys. Our demographic here is our age. There are a few of you that are younger, Megan. But for the most part, you guys are all our age in your 40s or older. Most of our fans and viewers are 40s, 50s, and some are even a little older.
Why you say Megan? She's only a couple years younger than me. Maybe
because
a year
she
younger.
has said before that she's younger, our younger demographic.
Yeah. Which is funny because our younger demographic is 40 years old.
Yeah. So anyway, that means if you have sweatshirts from your teen years or 20s, that shit's vintage. So sell it.
Yeah, man. Anyway, okay, let's go ahead and jump into our sales for this week. I will say, man, eBay, it's like eBay knows that I've been, not saying the nicest things about my eBay sales. And they were like, oh yeah, what about this? I was seriously, at one point this week, I was down to $500 for my previous 7 days on eBay, which is ridiculous.
Awful.
Real bad. Awful. Real bad. And at the same time, my Etsy.
Katy, you're like, Megan is 4 years younger than you, which is exactly,
years younger. I'm 41.
You're going to be 42 in 2 months.
So rude.
Stop acting like you're a freaking infant, for God's sake.
I am very young. You're so rude. Anyway, excuse me for interrupting me.
No, I'm sorry. At some point, she's got to have the realization that she's in her 40s.
I didn't say I wasn't in my 40s. I just know that Megan's not that much younger than me. You're making it sound like she's 20 years old. Come on. She wants to be part of the not young party, okay? Anyway, as I was saying, at the same time that eBay was kicking it at $500 over the last 7 days, my Etsy store was like $1,100 for the last 7 days. Not once you see the actual numbers for my week, it didn't shake out that way. But there was a while there where I was double the amount of revenue on Etsy. But
Allison, man, shut your mouth. I'm not 46 yet, bitch.
And then also on Thursday, I went on Barry, aka Afro Vintage on Instagram, and I did his morning live show. And so I actually had some good sales on that. Plus, I did a bulk sale to one of the people who actually ended up getting one of my t-shirts at auction for $5, but he came around and actually bought a bunch of stuff that I marked down big time for him for a bulk buy. So actually Instagram was my best numbers for the week. So let me go ahead and share the screen. And that's Vikki being pretending to be mildly impressed by my numbers, but not really. All right, so eBay did pick up a little bit at the end of the week here.
Cheryl, buy some new underwear.
Yeah, buy some new underwear.
She's like, my undies are older than most of you.
So I only had 16 orders for the whole week on eBay, which is real sad. 11 on Etsy. It slowed down a little towards the end of the week. 24 Instagram orders and nothing on Mercari, but I sold 2 things on Grailed for a total of 53 items I sold throughout the week. eBay didn't even quite make it to $1,000, $986.78. Etsy, $842.72. Instagram, I guess I should be thanking my lucky stars that I decided to start working my Instagram again, and then Barry snagged me to be on the show because I did $1,340 on Instagram this week. And it's nice when you don't have those selling platform fees, guys. And Grailed, $151. So my total gross sales actually ended up being really good, $3,320.50. If I could average $3,000 a week for the whole year, I mean, that would be over $150,000 gross. So shipping there.
So you could be almost like me.
Almost. My shipping, $264.73. You can see the breakdown of fees there. My cost of goods, around $445. So my net total sales, $2,400.63. I did clearance out a lot of stuff. So my gross average sale price comes in at $62.65. I really try to keep it 70 and above, but I'm happy with this for this week. And my net average sale price, $45.29. So overall, good week for me.
It was a very good
I'd
week.
say.
Tommy, I think Cheryl is quite popular in her He said, no pants, no underwear. Cheryl must be very popular.
Exactly. All right, so let's go ahead and see how you did. I know you still managed to beat me as per usual, although I was a little closer this week. Go ahead.
You were a little closer this week. So I had 43 eBay orders, 3 on Etsy, 5 on Poshmark. Etsy and Poshmark have been real slow this past couple weeks.
Why is Etsy doing you dirty like that?
Etsy is terrible. Macari, I had 1 sale. I had 5 on Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is starting to come up for me. And I think it's mostly because I've been focusing on a lot of hard goods lately. And my hard goods do well on Facebook Marketplace. So I'm happy about that. So 57 total orders, did 2,900, just over 2,900 on eBay, 381 on Etsy, 322 on Poshmark, both very slow. 50 on Macari and 290 on Facebook Marketplace for a total of 39.45.74.
What, you couldn't hit 4,000?
I couldn't hit 4,000. Anyway, so that's a really good week. I didn't source it all this week. So again, I don't have anything to show you source-wise, but I paid $380 in shipping. I did have quite a few international orders this week. $346.68 in eBay fees, 32 on Etsy, 64 on Poshmark, $830 on Macari. I will say you're not seeing the Facebook Marketplace fees because we have not figured that into our little equation.
I did adjust
yet.
your net for it, though.
She did adjust my net for it. So it really, it's only 5% on Facebook Marketplace. So it's pretty. It
was like $14.50.
Yeah, it's, when you're seeing it, just keep in mind 5%. Cost of goods, $335. Total net sales, $27.64.45. So that's a good week. Anytime I can do over 2,000 net to 2,500 net, that's where I want to be. That's my sweet spot. Mm-hmm. I want to be putting $2,500 a week into the bank. That's my goal. Okay. So, 69.22 gross average sale price.
ASP, nice.
My gross ASP has consistently been over 60. Last week was a very low week. I clearanced on a lot of stuff. And then my net ASP is pretty good, $48. So I'm pretty happy. It was a good week.
Very, very good. I do want to say, Cheryl, if you announce that you aren't wearing pants or underwear, you probably don't have to include the wink. I'm just saying. I feel like you're pretty straightforward there with what you're sharing with us. We appreciate it for sure. I'm just saying unnecessary wink. So,
well, Cheryl's a sharer. What can we say? Obviously.
Anyway,
not that I'm calling you. I'm not slut shaming, Cheryl. I promise.
No, of course not. Of course not. We like sluts. Okay, so
hopefully I'm making her laugh because
of course
I know. Sure.
Of course. Anyway, I think we both had pretty good weeks. And again, I definitely will most likely not be able to keep up those kinds of numbers for Instagram, but I am trying to recommit myself to my love affair with Instagram. And I think I'm going to try to do a story sale sometime this next week, because that usually helps a little bit too.
Good.
But I'm trying to do at least a couple of posts every single day of things that I have up for sale. That's basically it. But let's go ahead. Yes, of course, Sandra, we do. # we do love sluts. It's true.
So I wanted to propose something before we go ahead and show our solds. So 2 weeks from now, we are going to be in Palm Springs. Mm-hmm. We intend to hang out with Sandra, Miss Wicked Reseller, and her wife, Rebecca. Yeah. And we are also meeting up with 2 of our other friends in the chat that are not there right now, but Deb and Mel Bradley. Yeah. I would like to propose that we do a Sunday mini haul show with the 6 of us. Mm-hmm. If everybody is still in. I know.
Yeah. Basically, it sounds like we're doing some sort of like California big old gay reseller retreat.
A lesbian reseller retreat, apparently, but...
Tommy, I will say I'm not using Liz Perfectly for my Instagram. And the reason for that is because there's no tool out there that you can use to post multiple photos to a single Instagram post. And it has something to do with how Instagram kind of has their shit locked down tight. And so for me, with my particular posts, I do them on my phone still because I want to be able to have multiple pictures for a particular item. I'm selling vintage, high dollar priced vintage t-shirts. I need to be able to show the single stitch, the tag, the details and stuff like that. So I am not using it for that, but I do still think it's
the short answer is no. She's not
giving a reason. I'm giving a reason.
It was a 5-minute reason. You just had to say it only uses one
abusive.
picture. I
so
like
abusive.
Anyway, Cheryl, you're never left out, honey. Listen, downtown Julie Brown's from the East Coast. She came out here 2 weeks ago and hung out with us.
Yeah. What's taking you so long?
What's your excuse?
What's taking you so long? Anyway, let's go ahead and go and look at our sales highlights for the
sales
week.
Highlights?
Yeah, sales highlights for the week, starting with this thing you sold.
This thing?
Yeah.
This thing.
Go for it.
So it is just a vintage. I always pick up vintage Western blazers. Blazers will sit all day long when it's women's or men's for the most part. But if they're Western, if they have suede elbow patches, if they have a Western cut and they look like they're vintage Western, I will get, that type of thing. Or if you look at the front, they usually have like some kind of peaks and these weird kind of lapel thing going on. It doesn't matter. If they're vintage and they're Western inspired or Western looking, doesn't really matter what the brand is, pick them up because I'm going to get anywhere from $60 to $100 on them every single time. And most people price them fairly cheaply. I don't think I paid $5 for this. And I had a sale going on this week, a pretty good sale because my sales in general were weak last week. So I went up to 30% off on eBay this week. But it sold $62. I mean, I know the photos don't look super crisp. It's actually because this type of fabric is very muted. If you look at the photos of the item up close, which might be a tag photo, if you go further. Or that one there. If you look at that, it's actually a very muted, fuzzy, almost like a cashmere. It's not cashmere, but it's a thick fabric, and it kind of absorbs all of the light when you're trying to photograph it. Mm-hmm. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. First one for me, guys. I didn't realize that I didn't think this would sell this quickly. This is that San Francisco earthquake sweatshirt that I showed. I think I showed it last week.
I think you did.
And it was pretty much, looked pretty much dead stock, but it's from the 1989 San Francisco earthquake. And I put this up so it would go on sale pretty much right away for $97.99. And it sold within like a day of me having it listed, maybe 2 days tops. For $97.99. I picked this up at yesterday's Fits. I think I paid $10 for it, and it sold real fast. But and honestly, if you ever look like those T-shirts, there's lots of T-shirts too that say like, and a lot of them have the same graphics. They just got changed to different earthquakes, and they'll say like, I survived this earthquake or that earthquake. There's actually quite a few of them out there, and they usually sell for pretty cheap. So I priced high with high hopes in my mind, but figuring I'd end up selling it for more like 65. So the fact that I sold it for $98 right away, I'm just pretty stoked about. So not a bad little quick flip.
Not bad at all. This one, I did show this in a haul. I've had this for probably like 3 to 4 months at this point. I'm not even sure if it's that long, but at least I would say a good 3 months or so, since before Christmas anyway. I picked this up and paid somewhere around $4 or $5 for it. It was at the Savers, and I'm not sure why it was still there. Honestly, this is the type of thing they usually price up really high, not even knowing anything about it. But I knew it was Dragonfly. Dragonfly is mostly at least 15 to 20 years old. The label in general, if it's just one of these Dragonfly shirts, it was created by Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue, if you're not familiar with the brand, but it was really big early 2000s. They did a lot of that kind of flames on the bottom of these types of bowling shirts or camp shirts. And it's kind of a passe style. So if you're picking it up and it just has the flames on it, they don't sell for quite as much. But there are certain ones that were dedicated to certain musical stars, like Elvis, and this one is Bootsy Collins and Jimi Hendrix and things like that. If you find the ones that are dedicated to a specific artist, they're going to sell for big money still. So Dragonfly, I almost always pick up. It's still going to sell. It's just not going to sell for as much. Like if you got something with flames on it, it's probably going to sell for the $30, $40 range. This particular one, it sold for the price that you see there. I had a lot of lowball offers on it, and I was never really interested because I knew I could get a good price for it. It sold for $91. It's actually shipping international too.
Nice. Very cool. All right, next one I have up. I only have 2 sales I'm sharing from eBay because it did me that wrong.
Because eBay was that shitty.
It did me that wrong. This Apple computer t-shirt, it's got like some really nice fade to it and distressing to it. And this one I bought from yesterday's fits as well. I believe I paid around $60 for it.
You didn't have this for too long.
No, I didn't have it for too long. I got it maybe within the last month. And it's funny because Ryan recently from Rally Roots did a video, and he was wearing this exact same t-shirt. So I made sure to put in the comment like, hey, if you want a t-shirt like Ryan's, I got it. Not that I heard from anybody, but anyway. And I did some offers to buyers, and I did an offer for $125 and somebody bit. And so I sold for $125. Like I said, I paid $60. I've had it listed for probably about a month or so. And so flipping this and getting $125 when I needed some decent sales this week, I was happy to do.
This was a pickup from my buyout of the business, the Clothing Vault, formerly owned by List Perfectly. And this sold pretty, I don't know, I've had this listed for a couple of months now. I picked up all of these items in November, was it?
Yeah.
I think I got everything in November.
I haven't sold still from forever ago.
Well, I got 2 of them, and I think you have 1. And I picked this up in November. And I've had all of their stuff listed since the end of November anyway. And it sold for $160. This also is being shipped internationally, which I think is pretty cool. I did not take this picture. I can't even take credit for that. These were photos that they had. They're a little bit blown out, but these were photos that they had on their website, and I was able to use them because there is no way I was going to get a photo that looked that good on a Allison's like, photos are on point, totally on point. I didn't take them.
And they do the tricky thing where they remove the mannequin, so it's
I don't know how
I don't even know how they do that because
that.
it's not photographed like that, obviously, unless a ghost is wearing it.
But I guarantee the photos are what sold this thing because there's no way I could have made it. So anyway, sold for $160. Buyer paid like $40-something shipping. This weighs just under 4 pounds. So I know they just bought it yesterday. So I know I'm going to make some money on the shipping as well.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Very good. Reg, Sandy wants to know how I know it's okay to take a half priced offer. I'm not really sure what your question is. I mean, I price my stuff up so high. So I know like if I've had something for a long time and I know that like, especially if I paid $10 for it and I have it listed for $100, if I've had it long enough, $50 might sound pretty good. Or if I way paid up for it, then a half price offer is not going to work. So I'm not really sure if that's what you're asking, but
it all depends on you. If you paid $10 for something and it's worth $100, but you've had it for 6 months and someone offers you $50, you might be willing to take the $50. Yeah. That's the way you have to look at it. It depends on how long you want to hang on to items and how long you want to be stubborn about your price. I'm fairly stubborn about my price. Katy will take lower offers than I will on some things.
It depends
but on other stuff, I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to move this. I'll take double what I paid or whatever. Everybody's a little bit different.
Yeah. But like the bulk sale I did on Instagram, it's like most of those prices I actually slashed them like in half of what I had them listed for because it was all stuff that I'd had for a while. It was all going to the same guy. It was $720 sale, no fees. So it was really easy to be like, okay, I can do this and free up some money, and it helps a lot. So
and to buy faster moving stuff. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's it. Every once in a while, you're going to look through and say, okay, I thought this was fantastic, but clearly not everybody thinks like I do because it happened in a year and doesn't matter how many offers I send out, nobody's buying it. So at some point, you're going to want to send out a real aggressive offer if you have a liker, or you're going to accept a real aggressive offer if someone sends you an offer, if it's been sitting there long enough. I don't ever sell anything for less than what I paid for it, but that's because I paid pennies for my shit.
Yeah.
I'm always making money on it. I'm just not willing to take 20, sell something I paid $4 for that I have listed for 120. I'm not willing to sell it for $20.
Right.
Probably never. Doesn't matter how long I've had it. I'll throw it away before I'll do that out of spite. I'm that bitch. But
she gets real angry, guys.
but I will, I will take $80 on it.
Yep.
Or even 50 or 60. So it all depends on, everybody's different. Everyone's threshold is different.
Absolutely. All right. Next up, I have this t-shirt. This is one of my 2 sales on Grail this week. And it's this Ronnie McDowell. Older women are beautiful lovers. Don't I know it, guys?
This is so funny.
Don't I know it? And I've had this for probably about a year, maybe. But I think I got this at Yesterday's Fits, when we very first started buying from them. So I paid like $10 for it.
I remember you showing this on a show.
Yeah. Sold it for $83. I think it's pretty awesome. Again, I'm not for sure remembering where I got it, but I know, at the time I thought it was pretty awesome, and it took a little while, but $83 on a $10 sale. So
Cheryl says, "And grateful." Oh, Cheryl, that was funny.
Pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. What's this monstrosity?
Oh, so this is, I did not sell it for the price you see, but I'm going to tell you right now, there are some things that I will tell you I will never buy again. So I picked this up at a garage sale a year ago.
Maybe, yeah.
More than a year ago. I paid $10 at the garage sale. It was sitting under a table. This guy just wanted to get rid of it. It weighs 45 freaking pounds. It's huge. Now, I bought this before all of the dimensional weight pricing went into effect, so maybe a year and a half ago. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, I probably could have shipped this for about $25 because it was before DIM weight. But anyway, it's 45 pounds. It's huge. I don't know what the frig I was thinking. But I didn't pay very much for it. I got an offer the other day for it for $299. And I could not accept fast enough. It went to New Hampshire, and the buyer paid $79.95 shipping, which is just a flat number I picked out of the air. And it actually ended up costing me $55 to ship it to New Hampshire, which is all the way across the country from me. And the buyer's super happy to have it. I've got to pack the crap out of it inside because it does have some of the original styrofoam, but not all of it. And this is a heavy, large electronic component, and it will bust if it moves around. So I haven't packed it yet. It's going out tomorrow. And I'm just shipping it in the original box.
Yep. And adding some padding in.
And I put that right in the description. That's how it was shipped originally. It has all the old labels on it from like Staples or Office Max or wherever it came, but that's the way it's going.
Cool. All right. Next up, this is the one I'm going to show you from when I did Barry's show. The reason this one's noteworthy. Now, I've had this one since June, and it's funny because I had it listed for about $200 on eBay, or $210, and I have multiple times sent out offers to buyers for $100, and I have never had anyone buy it. So, but it's a really cool shirt if you're into comics and Neil Gaiman and Sandman comics. So I had it as a buy it now price for $75 because I'm like, whatever, it's a cool shirt. I lowered my prices to try to get some sales. And there happened to be a couple of different people in the chat that were interested in it. And so they were like, can you just auction it? And so I said, I'll auction it, but it has to start at 75 because I didn't want to sell it for any lower than that. And what do you know? It ends up going for $100. So, I've tried to sell this for $100 so many times, and I ended up getting my $100 for it. So I was actually pretty happy. I probably paid like about $50 for this. And this is another Yesterday's Fits shirt that I picked up this last year. But I was just happy to get it out of the house. It's a cool shirt, going to somebody who's going to appreciate it. And I got my $100 for it, guys.
Woohoo!
Woohoo! This is kind of one of those things where even though it took forever, I didn't mind having it sitting in my store because I do think it's a really cool piece, and I still think it elevates the rest of my store, but whatever.
As Greg says, the sale of the printer frees up a nice piece of real estate. It does. It was actually in our storage unit, one of like 5 items I keep in storage because it was just so big.
Yep.
Okay, so this actually came from the big estate sale buyout where I purchased all of the dolls. This woman also had a lot of vintage clothing, as I've said, and this is one of the items. This is actually technically probably from the 1920s or the 1930s. I decided to go with 20s. There are no labels this old on Vintage Fashion Guild or doing any type of search for Lord and Taylor. It's just based on what I'm looking at there. It's probably 20s or 30s, but not in perfect condition. The vest itself is this white type of cotton that I swear looked like somebody had, been shot in. I actually soaked it for 2 days in OxyClean, and I was able to get it so that the stains were fairly light. 2 marks where you see the red. These pictures are terrible. Sorry. I'm just looking at them now. I didn't take them, but whatever. They were good enough to sell it. Anyway, I had this listed for 3 days. I priced it pretty high, and I wasn't exactly sure where to price it because there's nothing like this. It's just a really cool piece. But I had paid like $1. Yeah, total Great Gatsby vibes. That's exactly right. So 20s and 30s is exactly that era. So it sold on Etsy within 2 days for we always have to have the musical accompaniment, apparently.
They like it, so shut your mouth.
It sold for $229.95, plus I charged $10 shipping because it does weigh about 4 to 5 pounds. It's very heavy. So maybe I didn't price it high enough. I don't know. This is one of those pieces that I took a shot in the dark with the price. I'm pretty good at making up prices for things, but there really wasn't any way to comp this. It's not like there was a heck of a lot of 1920s tuxedos online. I wasn't sure what it was going to sell for. So I have about $1 invested in it. It sold within 2 days for $230.
Nice. Shot in the Dark. That's a good Pink Panther movie, in case you were wondering. Probably weren't.
It's also a good Aussie song.
All right, this is my Snoopy Casablanca t-shirt. It's supposed to be like kind of a Humphrey Bogart bogey beagle t-shirt. I actually picked this up from Gracie's Vintage, our friend Leah in Kingman, her awesome store there. And she sold this to me, I believe, for $20 is what I picked this one up for. And I've had it listed for a little while, but it's a nice big size. It had like a little bit of pinkage going on right here. But just a cool shirt, and I listed this for $100. There was a sale going on for 10% off, so you can see that I sold it for 10% off. So it sold for $89.99. Took a few months for it to sell, but I paid $20 for it and got $90 for it. And I always get like Snoopy stuff if it's good Peanuts t-shirts. I think usually do pretty well. I always like these fun little movie ones.
I think they're pretty cool. Mm-hmm. Tommy in Seattle, you don't see good tails like that anymore. Honestly, I know that you probably meant that as a pun, but the reality is that, finding nice tuxedos, I think there is nothing better looking than somebody being able to pull off a good suit or a good tux. So I truly hope that the person that bought this is going to wear it. They're going to have it dry cleaned and mended if there's anything that needs to be mended, and they're able to pull it off and wear it because I think it would look fantastic. They don't make clothing like that anymore. It's not cheap material. It's really made well. It was probably a bespoke suit.
Or it's going to be like a costume or something.
Even if it's a costume, that's going to be a good looking costume.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a really nice tuxedo. Okay, so this was another sale. I picked these up. I just showed these last week. This set usually gets somewhere between $60 to $75 on eBay, and I listed it. This also sold within 2 days. It sold on Facebook Marketplace for $90. Now I price my stuff high so that I have room for negotiation on all of my other platforms, and I had cross-posted it to Facebook Marketplace, and it sold right away. I am shipping it medium mail. It may cost more than 10. It may not. They don't offer medium mail as an option, so I put ship on my own, and then I'm just going to box this up. This is about 20 pounds, and it's going to go medium mail. So I was super happy to sell it very fast. I have about $12.
I had just put them away for you.
She did.
Like literally 20 minutes before it sold.
Yep.
So, all right. Next up for me is this awesome Miller Lite US Ski Team sweatshirt. Now, if you remember, I actually got 2 of these from Jesse over yesterday's fits. He had sent me pictures specifically because he knew that it would force me to come into the shop.
Mm-hmm. He knows you. He knows how to get
me in. And he showed me the picture, and then he was like, and that's not all. And he showed me that there were actually 2 of them. And so he had held these back for me, and I bought them for $20 a piece. And one of them sold pretty quickly. I think it sold on eBay, and if I remember correctly, it sold for $97.99. And then this one just sold this last week. But these are just really cool. I think they're really cool sweatshirts.
What'd you pay again? $15 a piece?
$20 each. Okay. And they're on the Gear for Sports tag.
Which is that they're also almost as good as Champion as far as quality. It's that nicer, heavyweight, thick, whether it's a sweatshirt or a t-shirt. Gear for Sports is nice quality stuff. It wears well. It washes well.
Yeah. So this one sold on Etsy, and again, it was a 10% off sale, so it sold for $89.99. But yeah, $20 a piece, and sold them for $97.99 and $89.99. So not too shabby.
Nice. So this is just blowing out some snowsuits. I think I only have 1 or 2 left. I sold quite a few this season. Sold for $115. I think I could have held out for more. It is Obermeyer and it is vintage.
Hideous.
But there was a ton of interest on it. It's 90s and it's got this vintagey Aztec looking look to it.
It's awful.
I can't remember if I got this one out in the wild or if I got it from my clothing vault haul. I honestly don't remember, to be honest with you. So it was either part of a big bulk, but the most I paid for it is $15. I wouldn't have paid more than that. So
it's ugly. I'm just going to say it again.
It looks nicer in person, to be honest with you. It's not that bad.
I just don't like the print very much, but
even Tommy's like, oh, it's the print, what the hell?
It's rough.
It is nicer looking in person, but I wouldn't wear it either.
I mean, you know, when you are wearing your snowsuits, that you go for a different
vibe. I go for a different vibe. For all the time I ski, you know, Jesus, could you imagine me getting caught and rolling down a hill?
All right, next up,
skiing, that would be awful.
Pretty much. Next up is this Horde Festival t-shirt. I've had this for probably like 6 months now. Or so, but I did buy this.
That's a really cool one.
Yeah, I bought this during the pandemic. I got it from one of the other local vintage shops here in town, and I believe I paid like about $50 for it. It is, it's got the double stitch on the bottom, single stitch on the sleeve. This is the music festival Blues Traveler started up, and so it's got some cool 90s vibes going on with Blues Traveler.
Was that the first year? I wonder.
I have no idea. And just I think a really cool t-shirt. I expected I was going to sell it sooner. And then I realized that it was just going to sit around for a little while. And it's one of those things where I would have sold it for a lot less, but this is where Etsy really seems to shine, is I'll have something that's been sitting around for a while and then it'll sell for
full price randomly.
Pretty much full price. But it was on sale, but I'll show you what I sold it for. And I actually was going to pull this to be one of my set price pieces on when I did the Barry show. So yeah,
you would have sold it for what, $75?
No, I probably would have said like 100. But it sold for 10% off of that, so it sold for $179.99. So I sold for 180, but I picked it up for about $50. But I thought it was a pretty cool shirt because you see all like the Lollapalooza stuff like that, but this one, you're not seeing like Horde t-shirts anywhere. So just a really cool t-shirt. I'm glad I got a good sale out of it, considering, with eBay sucking so bad, it was nice to have some big sales over on Etsy. Whoa!
So this was it's a chenille blend. It's really pretty. So this is a St. John blazer jacket. I don't know what you want to call it. It's not a robe.
Looks like it though.
It's not a robe. It's like a jacket because you couldn't wear it without a shirt. So I would call it like
Cheryl
a blazer. Cheryl might wear it without a shirt. Naked Cheryl. Anyway, it's really nice. It's very thick. It's very very beautiful fabric. It's made by St. John. I believe it's St. John Evening Wear or St. John Couture. Either way, you can't tell because it's on Posh and everything's shortened. But it's a really, really nice St. John. It's not one of the cheaper lines. And again, sending out offers. I send out aggressive offers. I think I probably could have held out and sold it for more eventually, but it sold for $140 on Posh.
Very good. See, I knew it. All right. Last thing up is this Phoenix Coyotes parka jacket. I believe I bought this actually from Jesse's mom earlier this last year when we went over to her house and bought a bunch of stuff. This is during 2020.
Jesse's mom has got it going on.
Sure. Anyway, she's been selling on eBay for many, many years, but she wanted to get rid of a bunch of her inventory. And so we went and I bought a bunch of jackets, if you guys remember, and got really good prices. I think I paid like maybe $25 for this.
Yeah, I bought a bunch from her too.
Yeah. And
my shit's just sitting there. It's not selling.
No, I sold a lot of them. This is a Champion jacket. And it had like a fleece lining in it. You can see like there's like this fleece lining in there. And I sold this for, it's actually went to California too. I'm like, what are you doing buying this heavy jacket in California already? 10% off. So it was $135. I paid $25 for it, sold it for $135. And I was glad to see it going to California because I could throw that in a big old poly mailer. And it cost me less than around $9 to ship it. So,
so Cheryl with her amazing Elaine from Seinfeld, reference with their real and spectacular. Anyway, she said, I picked a bad day to recommend your show to a friend of mine. She'll never speak to me again.
Well, I always tease, okay, cool casual vibe. I'm always encouraging Vikki to sing, but when she does that, I tell her, you gotta sell it, because she does it. It's like she does karaoke. We haven't done it in forever. But whenever she sings for the show, she gets real quiet and small with it. And I'm like, no, you gotta belt that shit out. Come on.
No.
Own it.
No.
Jesse's mom.
Stacy's mom. It's a good song. My daughter used to tease me because that song was like about me, she would say. If you've ever seen the video, it's all about 80s rock bands and
pretty much.
Stacy's mom washing the car like she was Tawny Katane on the hood of the White Snake car video. Anyway, It's a funny song. Makes me laugh.
Tell us more about the 80s.
Fuck off.
All right, guys.
She's not going to
apparently. Listen, guys. I'm telling you, since Friday, we did No Pants Friday After Dark, and towards the end of that show, if you watched it, this one let loose with a lot of F-bombs. And I'm pretty sure she single-handedly lost us about 10. Like we
lost a whole $10.
Not $10. We've had a bit of an uptick in subscribers lately, and all of a sudden we lost like 10 in one day. And I'm almost positive
right now.
I'm almost positive it's because of Vikki and her foul, dirty mouth.
Yeah, we probably did. So, oh well, sorry. Not really.
Anyway, all right, so that concludes our sales highlights portion of the show, and now we go into our haul portion. And like I said, I wasn't going to source this week. Vikki didn't source at all, but I could not resist going in and snagging a bunch of stuff at Yesterday's Fits for $5 a piece. They've been doing a great job with having all this lower price stuff, and he has so much inventory. The volume of stuff coming into his shop now is ridiculous. So they had this huge sale. It was really cute. They did a couple of really fun little videos to advertise for their sale, and they star Austin. So if you follow Yesterday's Fits on Instagram, you saw those videos, or you should go ahead and follow them. They're really cute. It's kind of like a used car dealership kind of commercial.
It's funny.
And like one of them, he comes sliding down the banister and he goes, "Oh, hey,
you're still here."
And
it's so funny.
He's like, "We've got these," blah, 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 blah. And he's like walking around the store. It's really cute. Anyway, so I went and got.
So Rag says, "It feels strange not to source." I don't know, Sandy. For me, I've honestly been sourcing once every 4 weeks or once every 6 weeks for the past several months now, because I've been buying in huge quantity. So
I've mostly been going weekly to Yesterday's Fits, but sometimes I skip a week. For the $5 sale, Tommy, it was only in the store. So, they probably would do some, if you contacted them and say you want to buy, like they might have like a whole bulk buy you could do. I mean, I know we do the boxes, but at this point they probably would take like a bunch of their stuff they have left over and do like a really cheap deal.
Reach out to them on Instagram.
I got a bunch of stuff.
What's the worst they can say? No.
Yeah. So I got a bunch of really cool stuff. There's definitely stuff that needs to be washed, needs to be bleached like
Okay,
nobody's
I'm moving
business.
then. Don't put it in
Yeah,
my
I'm washing
face.
anything. That needs to be bleached like nobody's business. But I think I found some really cool things. And then I texted Britt and I was like, you got to get down here and buy some stuff too. And so I know he picked up a bunch of stuff. He spent like $150 or something. So this one is a cool Bugs Bunny t-shirt. I won't touch you with this, but you got to pay attention. Get off your phone.
I was about to answer a question. I just sold something.
Okay, get off your phone. Get off your phone. Anyway, this is a sleep shirt. It says on it, Sleepyheads is the tag. It does say it's like 94 or something like that. This shirt, though, it's not like one of those super long sleep shirts. So I will just list this as a regular t-shirt.
I didn't know that was a sleep shirt until you said Sleepyheads. I guess that makes sense.
I will just list this as a regular t-shirt, and it's probably like a
tall,
3X.
big dude.
It's like a 2X or 3X, depending on the measurements. Because I'm going to be more likely to sell it. And it's just like a nice big graphic of Bugs Bunny. It's got some fading and wear.
I mean, I would wear that as a sleep shirt because that's the kind of stuff I wear to bed. Sexy, I know, but big, huge t-shirts. That's my. But
jam. Like paid $5 for it, and I should be able to sell this for at least $50. So it was a good little score.
It was.
Just lots of, I basically just went through and I missed like the first rush. So I'm sure I missed out on some really cool stuff, but I went through and I just grabbed everything vintage that had a decent graphic on it that I knew I could sell for $30 and up because I'm paying $5 a piece for them. This one is, is it Clarion? Yep. I don't know how to pronounce it. Clarion University. Just a cool football t-shirt. And this one's definitely 90s. It's got the Cotton Exchange Made the USA tag. Paid $5 for it. For
Sandra is on in a sourcing restriction. Somehow she was able to hide all of her stuff in her storage locker, and now they finished building the RV barn on the property of the house. And hubby figured out how much stuff she had. Mm-hmm. So, I don't know.
That's why you got to get it listed.
You're in trouble.
If it's listed and it's selling, he won't mind so much
Junk
anymore.
Trader went to Clarion.
All right. Cool.
You didn't even know where it was. Do you know where it is yet? I don't.
No, I don't. I haven't looked anything up yet. I have this Los Angeles Kings. This is a hockey team sweatshirt. So again, paid $5 for it. It's obviously been bleached. It was probably black to begin with. I think it looks really cool, though. I actually really like it. It's like a marble.
Are you sure it didn't come like that?
Yeah, it didn't come like this. It's bleached.
It looks pretty good.
I think it looks cool, and it's on the Juanita tag. Actually, it might have been dyed like this. I think it looks cool regardless, and I paid $5 for it. So
that is pretty cool.
It's 90s. So, I mean, I'll definitely try to sell this for like $60.
Jerker says I could probably not source for at least 2 months with how much I have. See, I used to never be like that. Right now, I'm still finishing up that hoarder house with the doll hoard. I've got another, I don't know, probably another month worth of that stuff to get out. Plus, Crystal, I think, has probably 100 items with her right now of clothing. But she's working on those. As long as they're not in the house, I don't even realize they're here. They come back to me, folded nicely, listed.
I don't have any death pile. And, it's funny because we talked about how when the lockdown first happened, it put us in a tight spot because we don't usually have death piles. And the reality is now, because of some of the changes that we've made, or I know that I've made in how I source, I now know I've got multiple sources that even if something happened, which I don't think is going to happen at all, but if we were to be in a position where we couldn't go anywhere again and nothing was open, I have multiple people I could reach out to and be like, I need a bulk buy right now.
Yeah, we've both changed how we did things a little bit. And now, since we've been doing these little mini sourcing weekends and things like that, I tend to come home with enough stuff that I could go 3 or 4 weeks without sourcing. Every time we do that, the goal is to get it all done in a couple of days so that, the reality is everybody's going to handle things they want differently, but I don't want to be out every single day sourcing while the virus is still as prevalent as it is, both for myself and for other people. I'm not hiding in my basement, but I do try to cut down my limit on going out. And that's just how I feel about how I'm handling things. So personally, I feel a lot better going out 1 or 2 days once a month and getting everything done.
I'm mainly going weekly with Yesterday's Fits because they have so much stuff coming in, and Jesse's super cool and lets me get first dibs, and I can go and dig through everything in the back. So I've been going weekly because he has so much stuff coming in all the time. Anyway, next up, I have this Rollin' Hard t-shirt. You can see on the back, this is like a lowrider.
You're going to sell that so fast. I will tell you, I had a mechanics jacket, a Rollin' Hard mechanics jacket that I also bought from yesterday's fits. They're $5 pile from that sale we went to over a year ago. And I think I sold it for like 100 and change within a day of listing it. Rollin' Hard stuff sells well.
There's some other ones that have been listed and sold for around like the $50 range, but nothing with this particular graphic on it. This is from 1995 and also stuff that's a little bit newer. I actually am hoping this one, I'll probably sell it, like put it up for 100, maybe take 70, but this is one that, it might sell
$5.
Right away.
I mean, you don't know.
Yeah, might sell right away. Here is a fun t-shirt from the 80s. Big Pecker's Bar and Grill.
I think that's hysterical. I would wear that.
And this is from...
I would wear that. I think that's funny.
Ocean City, Maryland, 1987. Big Peckers. So
it's got a fun graphic. It's a fun little play on words. I like it. I'd wear that.
Fun little play on words. Talking about someone's wiener.
Yes, she's 12. She has not been on Virtual Flea. She actually left with the 4-time reigning champion.
Something like that.
And has not been back since.
It's not that hard when you have a big enough following that you can just ask people to vote for you. So, I don't think that
Katy is not too big for the flea. That's not what she's saying.
I'm not too big for the flea at all.
She has said why before, but it takes a lot of time and money to source for the type of items specifically to do a show, to do well enough for it to be worth it. Otherwise, she's going to sell the things that she sells for more money online.
Well, and the reality too is that I just kind of dropped out of doing as much Instagram stuff for a few months. Now I'm trying to get back into it, but I have put my name in. He does it like as a raffle for March. So we'll see if I get a spot, but he's doing Saturdays and Sundays all day like he always has, but he's also doing it on weeknights. So there's more spots open. So we'll see. But I've
seen that he it tends to go live every single day. So I don't watch it, but
I just did Barry's, and then I'm doing my buddy Enrique's his show on March 22nd or something like that. But I'll remind you guys. Anyway, $5 for this awesome body glove belly shirt.
If Deb is still watching, Deb would love that. If it were a long t-shirt, she would wear it, I bet. I know Deb's not going to wear it.
You could wear
she can. I'm not saying she can't. I'm saying she wouldn't.
Listen, why couldn't you wear?
See? Oh yes.
Listen,
I know, my friend
Deb. Why I say I bet you have like a long sleeves tie-dye shirt. Take a long sleeve tie-dye shirt. Wear this over the top of it. Boom, whole new look. Do it.
I would wear it with a muscle shirt under it, like a tank top under it.
Anyway,
I think it's long, but that's me.
I think it's super cool. $5, guys. $5. I don't really buy.
Not wearing a bibby shirt like that. Yeah. See?
With a long sleeve. 8-minute warning. Oh, because we got to be done by 3. Listen, the game comes on at 3:30, okay? I might need a couple minutes over. I don't usually buy a whole lot of cat shirts anymore, but for good vintage ones, this is Jazz Cats. New Orleans. So this is I like the graphic Nolans. I love the graphics on this. The colors are really cool, and these are some real sassy cats right here. Jazz Cats, New Orleans, and plus for $5. I mean, come on. This is 1992. I'll try to sell this for. I'll probably price this one at like $48.99, $47.99.
No, she's over the cat thing, Sandy.
Yeah, I'm over the cat. It was funny for a little while.
It was 3 years ago, and then she was inundated and had like more than 50
I couldn't
cat
wear them all.
shirts.
I still have my favorites, but no more cat shirts. Anyway, 1994 national champions, the Huskers from the University of Nebraska. It's a good graphic. This shirt needs to be bleached, but I'm
leaning away because these are not clean.
$5. I always sell my Husker stuff though.
Usually they're clean when she's showing them lately.
Usually.
She kept Taco Cat. She has a couple Taco Cat shirts she kept, actually.
This is going to take a little bit of an explanation, but this is probably the best piece that I pulled from that sale.
Was it what we thought it was or no?
It wasn't anything you thought it was. No.
Well, we were talking when you first showed it to me. Neither one of us knew what it was.
Well, so what would we think it was?
We thought it was a bouncer at a club.
Well, yeah, that's pretty obvious.
Oh.
But there's more to the story behind it. Okay. Anyway, in Huntsville, Alabama, there was this kind of famous dive bar called the Tip Top Cafe, and it was like this where all the rockers would go through and play. Lots of big names. This is like the 80s and 90s. And it was just kind of, a really well known, at least for that area, where everybody would go. And there was this guy who worked as the bouncer, and his name was Lanny Taylor.
Story time. Yes, story time.
It's a good story, and this is what makes this T-shirt worth money, in my opinion. Okay? So this particular place, this guy Lanny, and he was like a 400-pound dude, this real huge dude, and he was the doorman. And if he wanted you in, you could go in. If he didn't want you in, you weren't going in. And he apparently was pretty funny and cool guy. Anyway, and so these T-shirts, I think this T-shirt was made around the time, but then he ended up opening his own place called Lanny's Downtown. So this is from his own bar. But here's the graphic. So that's Lanny.
He looks,
and it says on it,
he looks charming.
Of course, I know what time it is, but it's still $5. It says, no, you can't just go in to use the damn bathroom. It says, no, I don't know where the hell the band is from. And how would I know if there's anybody inside, So apparently those are the kinds of questions that he would get. So anyway, he worked there for a lot of years, and then he opened his own place called Lanny's Downtown.
Says, welcome to T-shirt Provenance with your host, Katy Silverberg.
Exactly. So then he opened his own place called Lanny's Downtown in 1993. But here's the thing. That place was only open for 1 year. 1993, it lasted a year, and then it closed. He moved out of Alabama. He came back years later and worked again at the Tip Top Cafe. But I would say that this T-shirt,
Alrighty.
So I paid $5 for. I'm going to sell it for $500 million.
So we're retiring on that creeper's face?
Yeah. I think it's great. I think it's pretty funny.
All right.
Anyway. So I'll probably list that. I mean, I'll probably list it for like a couple $100 and hope eventually I sell it for $100.
We almost made it without a serial killer reference. You are correct.
This jacket, I almost bought this. I haven't been picking up jackets really. I almost bought this like a month ago or so. And then I was like, I don't want to deal with it. But then when it was only $5, I'm like, well, of course I got to buy it. This is CBS Fox Video. It's a kind of a cafe racer type jacket. It's got big on the back, CBS Fox Video. We'll see how long I have it before I decide I don't want to deal with it and give it to Vikki. But
I'll just take it.
But I paid $5 for it. It's a pretty cool jacket. I like it. She's also a little jealous of this one because it is the United Colors of Benetton.
I like Benetton stuff. I don't know why.
And this is a Benetton Formula.
You have your weird ski
racing team. I like the Benetton stuff too. I like the Benetton stuff too. I'm just saying you're jealous, and clearly you are. And it's got the little 7-Up logo on it. But you can see it's got the.
I think we need a new video. I think we need a new show photo of the two of us.
You told me to put that other one back on.
I know. I think
now you're ready for a new one.
That one's almost 3 years old. We need a new one.
Whatever.
And it's with a cat T-shirt.
Yeah. Another.
And I was skinnier there.
Cornhusker shirt. This one is filthy. It needs to be bleached like nobody's business. But this is that's worth a Winston 1993. It's got Winston on the front, but then the back.
It's filthy.
I know. It's actually. It smells clean, actually, but it just needs to be bleached really bad.
I can't believe you just put your nose on that.
I didn't touch it because I could smell the detergent. The Palace of Auburn Hills. So it looks like it's a venue because it says on it pro basketball, Detroit's Bad Boys, Summer Festival, Fight Night at the Palace, hockey. Let's see, Broadway extravaganzas.
Ooh, an extravaganza.
Professional wrestling
or
and then rodeo. So, but $5.
Extravaganza.
I'll sell it for Fitty. Vicki's also, I'm sure, jealous of this one, but you guys know how I feel about my Wisconsin Badger stuff.
That was actually paid that's kind of filthy too.
It is. I paid $10 for this. He let me go back and dig through a pile of new stuff that had just come in, so I paid $10 for it. This will bleach up nice though, and it's on this Jersey's tag. This looks like probably late 80s, but I always sell my Wisconsin Badger stuff really well. And then the last thing, I don't know about you guys, but I went to high school in the 90s. I graduated in 1997. And
you did in 1997.
Yeah, sorry I didn't graduate in 83 like you did.
93! Oh my God. She's freaking rotten.
Anyway, So they had Big Johnson tees were the thing when I was in high school, and guys would always get in trouble because they come to school in their Big Johnson tees, and they'd have to turn them inside out. This one just says Johnson's.
How many times have we talked about the fact that there are so many of these damn t-shirts and we've never found one in the wild?
Now, this one's a little bit different because it's like Johnson's Lobster House and Piano Bar. It's from Cabo San Lucas. But it's got the Big Johnson guy. You see the little geeky guy there. And they always have like these risque sayings on them. So it says, because lobsters on your piano are better than crabs on your organ. Anyway, obviously they always have some sort of. Why are you looking at me like that? You just think it's very funny?
It's fine.
It's pretty funny. Anyway, anything Johnson's, Big Johnson's was all the rage, like I said, when I was in high school. So I was pretty stoked. But yes, as Vikki said, we always are like, how is it possible that we never find these shirts out thrifting? Ever. It's crazy.
Hey, Deb, you're going to meet Rebecca in a couple of weeks, and she's a baby. She's a sweetheart, and she was funny and very nice. Vikki
graduated high school.
She is not my daughter's age. She's not that young.
83.
Oh my God.
Actually, no, she was born like in what, 90? I don't even know. I don't remember how old Rebecca is.
She graduated in 2006. She's oh my Lord. Anyway. Yep, so my kid is going to be 28. She was born in 93. She's going to be 28 in less than a month.
Yep. Look at that. It's 3:01, you guys. Cheryl, 3:01. I did pretty good. We're going to wrap it up. We're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to go make us some guacamole. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make us some fresh guacamole. Ooh. Actually, I'm going to make it for myself. I might share it with you, but with the way you've been acting all day today, I don't know about that. I don't know if I'm going to make you tableside guacamole, fresh guacamole.
Tableside?
I just call it tableside because that's what we get at the restaurant. It's good.
Yes, I got to speak and spell. I got this no button from Dana. Actually, Katy got it, and I have stolen it to use during the show because there's also a yes button, but the yes button doesn't have batteries in it yet. So. It amuses me.
Yeah. I let her play with it because it's better than her looking at her phone. So, anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to shut this down. I'm going to go make some guacamole. We're going to eat some guacamole with some delicious chips and then get some more work done before we call it a day.
Work. I'm not Listen, we took down all the Christmas decorations yesterday, guys. Guys. Christmas is gone.
It's gone. We had it
finally gone.
We had it for a good 3.5 to 4 months.
We put it up the middle of November.
Yeah, so 3.5 months.
Listen, I needed to have some happiness in my life. And considering we usually have 40 to 50 people that come for the holidays, and we had exactly 6 people see our decorations this year. 6. Mm-hmm. And one of them was Julie 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Have a great Sunday.
And
Wednesday.
That's what I'm trying to get to. How dare you? Wednesday, we're doing our Boss Up and List show that we do now every other week. And we are changing the time. It's now going to be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, noon for you East Coasters. So, Cheryl, you can watch Naked at noon over on the East Coast. But we will be having Mark II, Not Your Dad's CPA, is going to be on at 9 a.m. Pacific
Bring
time.
Your tax questions.
Yes.
We're going to post it in the group today, probably, so we can collect your questions and we will have him answer those. Yeah. And Wednesday, 9 a.m. Pacific time, Mark II with Not Your Dad's CPA. Anyone that has watched our couple of other shows that we've done with Mark, you will notice that he is actually not only super informative about taxes, he's actually entertaining, and what he talks about is interesting.
Yeah.
I know saying taxes and entertaining and taxes and interesting seem to be like a whole dichotomy, but he actually makes taxes a little bit more understandable and helps out a lot of resellers. So
Yep, absolutely. All right, guys, we will see you later. Bye.